How's everybody doing? I want to just tell you a little bit about a quote that I once heard. A choice is all you have in life. Choices are what makes every day, something horrible or something great. The people in your life, the choices that you make, the decisions that you face, these things will always control the outcome of what tomorrow brings for you and what the future holds. In time, everything works as a clock. As time passes by, it forces us to think about choices that we have to make, choices that bring us day by day. An inspirational quote that motivated me at one point in time in my life. How great I am is a statement of how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. The hits you can take in life and keep moving forward. Life is all about breaking down walls, grabbing every chance that you can get to make your life better, to improve your life in any way that crosses your path. Your life can be anything that you make it, anything that you desire for it to be. Every single day you have the opportunity to change something to make it better or make it worse. That's the point in life, to make your life what you want it. The choices you make in high school will follow you through the rest of your life. I know all you are tired of hearing that the choices that you make, the people that you hang out with, the crowd that you're with, the people that may treat you bad or may treat you good, everybody is who you are, but when you get out of high school, none of it matters. I'm 24 years old. I dropped out of Venus High School in 2007, and I don't talk to hardly any of the people. I left here in 2011. I don't talk to anybody from Midlothian. When you grow up, everything just goes away. You be an adult, you work, you start a family, you make a life for yourself. Instead of worrying about the cute boy, cute girl down the hall, focus on your test. Focus on your work, your teachers. Listen. Pay attention to what they're saying to you. College does make a difference. For all these people you see at McDonald's, all these people that you see retail, whatever it may be, wanting $15 an hour or so to work at McDonald's. I don't make that much money, and I went to college. I graduated high school. Life brings you choices, and the biggest one I made in my life was this program. My birth father left when I was 4. The only memory I truly have of him was beating my mom. My past, my childhood, was a very abusive time in my life. The last time I remember it happening, I ran next door to my neighbor's house. Cops came, took him away. I say that's my birth father because my mom had remarried after that. The last time I saw him was when that happened. Cops took him away. My mom remarried after that, a few years later, adopted me and my sister. Everything seemed fine, everything seemed good. In 2002, things changed again, but for the worse this time. My mom was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. She fought it long and hard for 5 years. And at the ending, coming up for the ending of it, she actually was able to beat the cancer, but the doctors were not taking care of her the way she was supposed to be taken care of, and her body went down. She had a tumor in the back of her head that spread throughout her body in a week. When that happened, the doctors had told us that she had a week to live. We wanted to take her home, but we couldn't afford all the equipment and everything else it takes to do that. So we put her in a hospice house. And at that time, it came down to about a week, and my grandma had told me that I needed to step up to the plate and tell her goodbye. So I went to her bed, and I grabbed her hand, I held her hand, and told her that I was going to be okay, that I promised her that no matter what happened, I would do what she wanted me to do, and she could be proud of me. As I felt her hold my hand and grip my hand, even though she was in the vegetable state that she was in, took her last breath of air, and she was gone. For many of you, whether you have your parents still or you don't have your parents still, your parents are a very big part. A lot of people have bad childhood, bad everything. But seeing somebody die in front of you, the biggest thing in the world to you, makes it hard. Makes your life hard because it seems like nothing matters. At this point, things got really bad for me. My dad that adopted me went to prison for doing things to my sister that they shouldn't have been done. At this point in time, when I found out about it, I just about took his life because I was really mad. I was 16 years old, didn't know what to do. I was going to school in Venus High School still, and I went down to the streets, moved. I didn't have a house, so I was homeless. I was homeless for maybe 4 months. Found a friend to live with and just lived wherever I could. I went out on the streets and did things that you shouldn't do, drugs, other things you shouldn't do. Found a good family to live with. I was there for 8 months. They told me I had to leave because her daughter was coming to live back with them. So I left, went back to the streets. Found another house to live at, and living there was the biggest, most heartfelt experience in my life. I lived there for a few months, and drugs make a person not care about anything else. When they rather spend money on drugs or spend money on this and that, rather than buying food, and you're hungry and you can't eat, so you decide to go live back on the streets to get out of the bad. I went back to the streets, was with my grandma and grandpa, had talked to them. They didn't know what was going on. After a while, I was at McDonald's up in North Fort Worth, and I was outside sitting on the sidewalk as a lady came up to me and handed me a McDouble. And she said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "No, not really, but I'll be okay, I'll make it." And she just walked away and said, "God bless you, I pray for you." At that point in time, I knew that there was something more to life than what I was doing right now. So I called my grandma and grandpa, and I was staying in abandoned houses wherever I could find one, living on the streets, whatever it may be. Called my grandma and grandpa, they came and got me. I went to North Texas Job Corps in McKinney. I was there for just about a year, came back, and worked at Sonic, went to school. My grandmother enrolled me in the school during the summer, took all the summer classes. I started as a junior, took all the summer classes, started my year in 2010 as a senior. I was, 22 years old, I think. Going back to high school after 3 years was really hard, especially being the oldest one in school. All the things you think of in life, all the kids that are around you, you're older than everybody else, really makes a big change in your life. Especially being out for 3 years, you don't think of all the math and the English and all your studies. You don't know any of that. So I had to start from nothing. It took me 3 times to pass the math tax test. I took it the very last time at the end of the year. But prior to all that, I was in Miss Sego's class, and she came up to me and she had talked to me. For the next few days, she talked to me quite a bit, and she introduced me to Miss Petty. Took me to Miss Petty, and I was scared at first because I didn't want to tell anybody what my life was and what was going on, how it was going. After a while, the things that happened in the program, that just seeing everybody else that was going through something that I was going through, really pushed me to do more. But my mentor, sitting over there, Robert, he's the greatest part of my success. Everything in life is all about what you make and the choices you make. But when you have somebody stay behind you and push you, and push you, and push you, and kick you in the butt until you do what you're supposed to do, and keep going, that's what counts. It's not about partying. That's all fun and dandy, don't get me wrong. But it's not all about that. Having somebody there to push you, having somebody there to help you, guide you through everything is what really matters. Those 2 people are basically the 2 most important people in my life at that time. And the fact that I was able to become a part of this and now share my story to other people makes it wonderful for me. I sit here in front of you and tell you what this program did for me. I could go on, but in the easiest way to put it, this program not only helped me, but it helps all y'all. It makes everybody realize what you have in life, the people that are around you, everybody that's going through something, all the rest of the people that are in school that don't know what you go through. But you're not alone. Look around you. All the people that are in school that come up to you, you may get bullied, you may get whatever. I wasn't a bully, but I got bullied in high school. I stood up for myself. Sometimes it made it good, sometimes it made it bad. You just take the goods for the bads. But just know that you're not alone. I really truly cannot say enough, but I just want to take a moment and say that what got me through life was this. It's not about how hard you can get hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. But if I can show you one thing, I want to show you how great I am. One day I stopped letting people point a finger in my face and telling me I was no good. When things got hard, I stopped looking for a shadow, a way out. I started looking for the light, a way to get past it. Believe me, life isn't all sunshine and roses. Life's going to knock you down. I don't care how tough these kids are walking down the hallway. Life is going to hit you worse than anybody else can. If you know what you're worth, go get it. She showed me how to let people into my life. She showed me how important it is to have relationships and how important they are in life. Nothing is impossible, and everything is possible with God. As I said before, I took the math tax test 3 times. After I graduated, or after school was over, I was leaving my grandparents' house. They told me I needed to get out. It really hurt me a lot. But if they wouldn't have given me that extra push, I really don't know what would have happened. I got my first apartment in Waxahachie. I was sitting in my apartment one day, and the guidance counselor, Miss Cheryl, I think is what her name was, had called me and said, "We need you to come to the school and get your cap and gown." You think you try so hard to do good, and your whole life depends on this diploma, and you get that call. You can't say nothing, you can't do nothing, you just stand there and you cry. It's just a crazy experience. For myself, it was the best experience. I started screaming and yelling after I realized what she said. Walked outside, and people in the apartments around me were like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And I said, I graduated high school. And they were like, "Oh, that's awesome, good job, congratulations." But as I went and did all that stuff, I walked down the stage. There was, I think, maybe 6, 7 people there. And I really realized nobody really cared as far as the other kids went. But I did. Not only was Robert proud of me, not only was my grandma and grandpa proud of me, but my mom was proud of me. Because I promised her that I would do it. And I did it. And the fact that I was able to walk down the stage, get my diploma, and I knew my next step was college and school and everything else, I knew I was able to do it. If I could do that, I could do anything. I've gone through all that stuff, and that takes me where I'm at today. I had my career job after 4 years of graduating high school. I work in Midlothian as an IT director. I coordinate everything in my job. I'm the one and only person that does my job, so I have everything on my plate. When you think your school studies are hard, when you think it's hard to study for a test, it's hard to do whatever, take my job. I'm 24 years old, I make $14 an hour. It's not a lot of money. But I love my job, and that's what matters. When you do as good as I've done in my life, loving your job is the one number thing that matters. Money, yeah, it matters. Things cost money, a house costs money, cars and trucks cost money. But a good job, good place to work, and people that care about you is the best thing in the world. I'm married. Next month will be 6 months that I've been married. For me and my wife, it's not always been easy. After I graduated, I went from job to job to job for a while. Miss Petty can tell you. I was able to find a job like no other. But I've always bounced around. And my wife was always supportive of me and always helped me through everything and kept me going and kept pushing me. But the one thing I know that this program did for me was show me how to push yourself in the right direction to do good. I'm about to have my own house, my own land paid off because I've worked my butt off for it. Because I've done everything I have to do to get to that point. I've broken down every wall so far that's taken me to get to that point. There's going to be more. I know that. There's going to be a lot of hard work to get where I want to get in life. My dream isn't to work for where I'm working at, it's to work for Google. But I'm happy and content where I'm at for the time being. In a few months, I'm ready to become the greatest part of my life that I'm going to be in the country again. Because right now I live in the city, and I hate it. I hate hearing sirens, I hate all that stuff. I hate having to worry about my car or truck being broken into. Just things that make you appreciate life. But I want to finish today by saying I'm ever so thankful the Lord is my Savior that brought me to this program and kept my life in the guide that it was in and brought me to this program. And thanks for Ms. Petty and Mr. Robert Bill. Thank you.